What is going on, everybody? Nitro Freak here, back with another Philly specialist scene. Long time no see. Scotty, how you doing?
What's going on, Kyle? How you been?
Not much. Been working out for the last month steadily, every single day. Feel a lot better. Getting to my goals for the summer. But other than that, I'm ready for this Birds game tomorrow. We got a big one tomorrow in South Philadelphia. Seahawks versus Eagles. Last time we played the Seattle Seahawks, it was a brutal game. We turned the ball over about 5 times. And we still kept it within range. So if we keep the turnovers down tomorrow, I feel like it could be a different game. But what do you think?
Yeah, it's a huge game. First time we've had a playoff game here in 2 years. I feel like it's definitely like taking over the city, taking over the tri-state area.
Right.
I think it's going to be a low-scoring, close game. It definitely could go either way. I think this game really comes down to Carson Wentz versus Russell Wilson. I think both of our defenses are pretty even, and you never really know what you're going to get from the Eagles' defense. They're definitely better at home than on the road, but I mean they've been so inconsistent this year. Like go back to like the Washington or Miami game when they gave up so many yards, so many touchdowns. But then the Dallas game that we were at together, they played amazing. So it's like you never know what you're going to get from the defense. So I think Wentz really needs to have his coming out party basically in this game, and like you can't put it all on him, but he has to raise. I mean, he's playing. I mean, everyone's like all hyped up about Greg Ward and Boston Scott, and all these people have been playing well. But at the end of the day, they are still practice squad players. I mean, do you think that they're going to be on the team next year?
I feel like some of them will be. I think Greg Ward will be, and I think Boston Scott will be. As for the others,
we can't even. I still don't even know the others' names. To be honest,
I mean, you had Burnett last week.
You heard like Hunter. Who's that? I don't even know who that is.
No, you had Robert Davis. Robert Davis is supposed to be our burner. I think he caught one pass last week for I think like 17 yards or something like that. Not a big name, but they're stepping up. And I told my friend,
Danny, they're catching the ball. That's what's most important, right?
Yeah, I told my friend Danny the other day. The practice squad guys are actually playing better than the starters. So I mean, they're really stepping up. And like you just said, you can't put it all on Wentz, but the last 4 weeks, you saw Wentz go back into his 2017 rhythm, like rolling out of the pocket, which he's best at. And I feel like if he does that, if he sticks to form and doesn't stay in the pocket, I feel like we could beat the Seattle Seahawks by 10 points. I really do. I just feel like we're the hotter team right now. I feel like us being at home is going to be a huge break for us. And I can't wait to see what the future holds for this team when it comes to playoff time. Because next week, if we get past the Seattle Seahawks, who comes back? Deshaun Jackson. So it's going to be interesting.
I know this season really doesn't even feel real because, we've been through so much with injuries and bad losses. I mean, literally anything is possible. I mean, I just felt like everything had to align for us to get to this point. It has. So, why not continue the run? Ultimately, like I said, I don't think this team is talented enough to go on that run. I'm hopeful as a fan, but anything is possible. I think it's going to come down to Wentz and how he performs and if he can raise the talent level of everyone around him. Also, of course, Miles Sanders, another person that we should really talk about. He was decent at the beginning of the year, but he's come out of nowhere, honestly. Yeah. And he's been a top 5 running back in the league the past couple of weeks. Would you say so?
I mean, I wouldn't say top 5. I would definitely say he's been versatile to the point where we'd actually win games because of him alone. But it also has a lot to do with Boston Scott taking the load off of his shoulders. Boston Scott has been a pivotal key to this team. He really has. And the 3 touchdowns last week, I would say he was the player of the game by far. But yeah, Miles Sanders has been good. He's stepped up into the role. I feel like he's going to be a great future running back for this team. Top 5 back, nah. But like you just said, he's been a huge part, and he's got to play 100% tomorrow. He really does.
He does. Thank God he's playing because no Lane Johnson, no Brandon Brooks, like we were talking about before we started the show. I definitely think Lane Johnson hurts him not playing. I mean, I really wish he could play. I mean, it's the playoffs. What does he have, a concussion, I think?
No, he has an ankle injury.
Is it an ankle? So I guess, physically, you don't want to make it worse if there's a chance that you can play next week if we win. But you need, all hands on deck. I know you're high on Big V, but I'm not sure.
Love him.
Is he going up against Javion Clowney, or is that going to be Jason Peters?
I think it's going to be against Clown. I'm not sure. You're putting me in the spot. I think it's Clowney. I'm not too sure, though. All I know is that Clowney hasn't been that good for the Seattle Seahawks. He has not produced up to their level. And
He's been
they wanted him to for making that trade.
Yeah, he's been hurt. He had that one good game against San Francisco on Monday night, but he's been hurt. But, their defense is talented. Of course, you got Bobby Wagner, probably the best middle linebacker in the league.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be interesting. Like I said, we've never beaten this team with Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll. It doesn't matter if it's here or there. So that kind of scares me. But at the same time, I'm very optimistic just because, I feel like this team, it's just, brand new. So many new players that you didn't think were going to be here. How do you game plan for that? Yeah, you have a couple games of tape, but Boston Scott and Greg Ward. Who would have thought we'd be playing with these people right now?
Yeah,
we didn't even know who they were. Maybe you knew Greg Ward in training camp or the preseason, but I think that's kind of underrated for the defense trying to game plan. It's who you don't even really have that much film on these people.
Yeah, and there's some people in the comment section talking shit saying even if we get past the Seahawks, we're going to get wiped off the field by the 49ers. Listen, we're in the great position right now. We're 9-7. We have no
we're playing with fire.
Yeah, we have no pressure on us whatsoever. If anyone, the Niners are under a huge amount of pressure because of that fan base that's been there for years.
They've sucked for how long before this year?
Yeah, they have 5 Super Bowls, and they're going to be under a lot of pressure. They're going to be under a microscope, and Jimmy Garoppolo does not have any experience in the playoffs. And I know Wentz doesn't either, but people seem to forget Wentz went to 4 straight national championships and won every single one of them. So I don't listen. As much as I bashed Wentz, I don't feel like the playoffs are going to hurt him. I really don't. I feel like he's going to play like it's just another game.
Yeah, I can see that. And I think it also helps that we've kind of been in a playoff situation for the past 5 weeks. We've had to win every game or we would have been eliminated. So that's obviously pressure right there. The playoffs is a different animal, but we've been on national television. Like you said, it's not really a new situation for Wentz.
Third year in a row.
The playoffs are a little bit different just because it is the playoffs. It is one and done. But I think he'll perform well. I just think it's just how well can he perform? How much can he get out of, a Barnett, a Greg Ward? You know what I mean? These random wide receivers. But I think that they respect Wentz a lot more than Alshon Aguilar did.
Yeah, I don't think Alshon liked them at all.
And it's a shame. I mean, not everyone's going to get along. It's just weird how they had such good chemistry in 17. That remains a mystery, but shit happens in life. Shit changes, unfortunately.
Yep.
I don't know. I think we have a good shot to win this game. I'm picking the Eagles 16-13. I think that's what I said on ESPN 610 this week. Mm-hmm. So I'm probably going to stick with that. Why not?
I'm not even scared of this game. I told Zomp the other day I have it as a lock
right now. Is it still Seattle by 1 or 2 or something?
Yeah, it's down to 1 now. It opened Eagles -3, and it shifted down. I see this as a lock. I have the Eagles winning 31-20. I just don't feel like with the banged up offensive line that Seattle Seahawks have, I don't feel you'll have to see Russell Wilson escape from the pocket, which he's the most dangerous at, for the whole game. But I feel like our pressure will be too much to where we keep him inside the pocket and he'll collapse. That's what I see what will happen.
I can see that happening. It just scares me that we've never beat him and he always kills us.
We're due.
Yeah, I could see that. We finally beat Aaron Rodgers this year, so that kind of gives me a little bit of hope. It's just our secondary. He always takes advantage of it because our corners have sucked.
Yeah, they're not too good. But our pressure has to get there. Cox has to show up tomorrow. He has to be brilliant. And Scott Robinson in the comment section said, "Nitro, would you be shocked if the Eagles blow them out of the building?" No. I would not be shocked at all. I just feel
that's what you just said.
I feel like the Seattle Seahawks had their hearts ripped out from them last Sunday. Hollister getting on the 1-yard line, centimeters away from scoring. I just feel like them going across the country in the cold weather, I feel like it's too much for them. And you're going to talk about experience with Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson. Well, Doug's been in the playoffs for 3 straight years now, and going back with Kansas City, he played coached against the Patriots as an offensive coordinator, called the second half in that game. So this guy has a ton of experience when it comes to Super Bowls.
And he won a Super Bowl as a player. Yeah,
not scared of it.
He won a Super Bowl as a player too with Green Bay.
Yep.
Also, played behind Dan Marino, Brett Favre. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
I think Doug is just so underrated. And I know you said I think I texted you the other day. You don't think he's that like the coaching job, but I just
Really?
give him so much credit for playing with these practice squad players. Like I don't know, besides Bill Belichick, name another coach that could do what he's doing right now.
Well, I don't think Doug is that good of a play caller, but with that being said, I think he's a good player coach.
I can say he gets the most out of his
Yeah,
players.
he gets the most out of his players. His play calling sucks. I'm not going to feed around the bush. His play calling is awful. But when it comes crunch time, he gets the job done somehow, some way. We could be 4-7 in the season. We could be on the borderline of missing the playoffs. He always gets the job done, like always. And the only play call where I saw where it really made a difference was the Philly special. And as you may remember, Nick Foles gave the suggestion. So, I mean, he's not a great play caller, but I like him as a coach for the players, if it makes sense.
Yeah, he's a good motivator. He just seems like a good person. So,
Yeah.
It's like someone that you would want to play for. You'd want to, get that extra yard, finish the play. Like I never seen this team, they never stop finishing plays, basically. Yeah. You know what I mean? Which we experienced in the Chip Kelly era and the end of the Andy Reid era, where people would just, stop playing, basically. And when times got tough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Will Olmstead in the comment section asks, who would we play if we beat Seattle? Well, we would actually play San Fran, but if the Vikings upset the Saints, we'd play Green Bay, and they would play San Fran. So
I definitely think the Saints will win that game. Kirk Cousins in the playoffs.
You never know. You really never know.
I know. What, are you picking an upset?
I might. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't like the Saints. I don't like their colors. I think it looks like diarrhea.
You hate the Saints.
I don't like the Saints.
Kind of
something about them, I just don't like them.
They've beaten us the past couple times.
Yeah. It's like they're not even rivals, and I just don't like them. Yeah, good luck to you too, Pigpen in the comment section, Seattle fan. Shout out to Norbcam as well. He's not in here, but he's a big Seattle video maker. It's going to be a good game. They have nice fans. They don't have a lot of fans that talk shit. We do, unfortunately. Well, actually, fortunately, because I like talking shit. But yeah, good luck to you guys tomorrow. You guys are definitely going to need it. You guys are banged up like us, and you're coming to our house, and it's going to be loud. It's going to be ruthless, and that's all there is to it.
We have the game of the weekend by far.
Oh yeah, it's the last game on Wildcard weekend.
And I feel like the other games, I guess besides Buffalo, Houston, they're you're expecting the Patriots and Saints to win those games. I feel like our game is just anything can happen.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's definitely 50-50 between the other games. What else we got here in the comments? Do you want to read some more comments off?
Yeah, I mean, we have Mr. Dab saying in the comment section that Jadeveon Clowney is going to feast on our backups. I disagree. I think Jadeveon Clowney with the groin injury is going to play a huge factor. I think he's been a shell of himself this year. I don't see him feasting on anyone, to be honest with you. I mean, Brandon Brooks going out, it sucks, but at the same time, I feel like everyone's stepped up for this team. It's like a band of brothers, and it's like that next man up mentality. I just don't see how we missed the beat.
And Big V, he has that playoff experience from 2017.
Super Bowl experience.
Yeah, he won a Super Bowl. But I think he's inconsistent. You're kind of more high on Big V than I am. Only thing that would scare me is if Jason Peters goes out. Even though I kind of like Andre Dillard, I don't know why he's not. I guess he's just not ready. But I think he should definitely be playing more than he is. You know
what it is? His confidence got busted because the first time we played Seattle, they threw him out there as a right tackle. And he said, and the reporters asked him, they were like, what do you feel about playing right tackle? And he's like, what do you feel about writing with your left hand? Does it still work? And they still threw him out there. That's bad coaching. And that ruins a player's confidence.
I guess because what was Big V playing on the left side?
Yeah.
So they needed him to play because I guess Johnson and Peters have been hurt. Johnson's been hurt a lot, which kind of is a concern. But everybody's been hurt on this team. So I really just wish he was playing because I think he's one of our best players. But
a top dog _TC says, proud of Jim for finally blitzing. Jim has been the MVP of this team this year, if I'm being completely honest with you. Wentz has stepped up the last 4 games, but nobody's talking about Jim Johnson. Everyone wanted to bash the guy, but won't give him praise.
You mean Jim Schwartz?
Yeah, Jim Schwartz, not Jim Johnson. Jim Schwartz. No one wants to give the guy praise, but he's been the X factor the whole year. Against Washington, they put up points, but let's face it, Washington's been putting up points against everybody. And, he does not.
Miami's outlier, right?
Well, the Miami game, that was just one of those games where it was kind of that trap situation because Ryan Fitzpatrick always owns us. Like no matter what kind of game we play, he always puts up points against us. And you're forgetting about Devontae Parker, and you're forgetting about the big upset in Foxborough. You know, they beat the Pats.
Yeah, they did pull that off. I mean, any team can win any Sunday. It's the
Yeah.
NFL. I think like that game just still in my mind a little bit for some reason, just because they should have won that game.
Yeah.
And there really is no excuse for losing it.
No.
But you're right. The defense overall has played extremely well this year, especially at home. You know what I mean? Like they're like, it's crazy how different they are on the road and at home. But it's definitely encouraging, and the line definitely gets more pressure at home.
Mhm.
I would say than on the road.
Yeah, 100%, because they feed off the crowd's energy. When you're on the road, you know, that's where the experience comes into play because we haven't been on the road much in the playoffs, if at all. Well, once, no.
Twice. Twice.
Yeah, twice last year.
Either
And
Chicago and New Orleans.
Yeah, we beat Chicago, so in the cold. So, I mean, when we get to the road, if we get past this game, which I think we will, when we get past this game, I just feel like our experience will be too much for the other teams in front of us. As better as the other teams are, I just feel like we're the hotter team, like I always say. Our defense is great against Seattle the first time we play them. All we need in this game is a little offense. Yeah, you nailed it right on the head, Andrew. And, you know, and then Lewis Jackson says, I hope no one gets hurt. Well, it doesn't really matter now. Everyone's pretty much hurt on our team going into this game, and we're in the playoffs. So, you know, it's a bonus for us. You know, everyone thought that we were going to win the Super Bowl this year. We still have a chance. You never know. A lot of people were like, oh, we're going to get bounced. We don't deserve to be here. Well, the Giants won the Super Bowl with a 9-7 record. So, I mean, why can't we?
What's this one comment? Satan, how do you say that name?
All right, Satan Aliron?
Yeah, Aliron.
Yeah.
Scotty, people keep saying we can't win because of our lesser talent, but really think our practice squad is better than the starters.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're playing better. I wouldn't say they're better. Like a healthy. I mean, obviously Aguilar. Who knows? I think he'll go somewhere and be productive, just because like that's what happens when we let talent go. Yeah. But they're just like they're not into it. It's like politics behind the scenes, honestly. And then with Alshon, yeah, he's hurt, but again, like it's just. They just didn't mesh well together this year.
I think if you're asking my honest opinion, I think Nelson Aguilar is a healthy scratch. I don't think they're playing him.
Well, why is he not on IR? You know what I mean?
Because they're paying them $9 million. And if they say that they put him on IR, or if they're keeping him out on purpose, that looks bad for the franchise.
I guess, but you could just say he has an injury. I mean, when you rather have another body.
He doesn't have an injury.
I know, especially now. He had something earlier in the year, or not earlier in the year, a couple weeks ago. But
it was a scapegoat for dropping that pass against the Pats. Fat Matt says, "What do you think if Ertz doesn't play?" More of the same. Honestly, I feel like Ertz playing.
Goddard has just been a fucking beast. I fucking love Dallas Goedert so much. I can't wait. We should definitely sign him like a 5-year deal. I would sign him like now if we could, because he's probably gonna be worth a lot more, especially if he like balls out in this playoff run. I would definitely get him signed.
I would too. I like Goddard a lot. He's that natural tight end that we haven't had since Brent Selleck.
I know he reminds me of like Travis Kelce.
Yeah,
honestly, he really does. He's such a beast. Like, not saying Ertz is like you always say is more of like a wide receiver type. Kelce was just like in your face, smash mouth, get the extra yard. Just everything you want in a tight end.
Yep. 100%. And that's what I've been waiting for out of this offense for the last couple of years, was a natural tight end to block, support the run somehow, and catch the ball and take it for extra yards, which Ertz doesn't do.
I mean, it's no shade on Ertz, but it's just like they're two different types of players.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I think that's why Ertz would probably, like, if you could choose one player like that to not play that was injured, I would say it's Ertz, because you have Goddard. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think Goddard, he is a starting tight end. Like, he would, like, the Cowboys wanted to draft him, like, he would have been their starter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And Lewis Jackson says, it really seems like this is another good story when Deshaun comes back and we make a run. Yeah, exactly. It sets up perfectly.
It's kind of crazy. I would be shocked, but I mean, like, he would definitely want to play. Like, especially if we win this game, if we get, like, Lane Johnson back, Deshaun Jackson, Ertz, everybody's healthy, like we become a lot more talented team and like a viable option.
Think
Like
of it this
seriously,
way: his
if they
first,
can get through, the Seahawks,
yep,
I have more confidence, maybe a little bit more of them beating San Francisco. I don't know. I just do. I just feel like you said, like San Francisco has not had any playoff experience in forever,
yep,
and we'll just be so hot
yeah.
if we win this game.
Yep.
You know what I
And
mean?
Deshaun's first game back will be in the warm weather, and it will be in his home state of
Yeah,
California.
he's from Cali. Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be crazy.
that's nuts. So don't
It's like you can't make this shit up. You know
don't
what I
count
mean?
out the Eagles just
Seriously.
yet, guys. Anyone that's a hater in here, don't count them out just yet. I wouldn't, because we could end up in that title game against the New Orleans Saints, and you know what? Might be a tough game, but fuck, you never know.
I know. Well, we'd rather be there than on our couch. Rather be here than the Cowboys right now.
I might even fly down there if we end up there. To be honest with you.
What, New Orleans?
Yeah.
It's just crazy, like how much shit has been talked on us over the years. When it's like our division, all three. Well, the Redskins just hired Ron Rivera, but like all three are getting new head coaches, and we've made the playoffs 3 years in a row. Tell me the last time any team has done that in our division. It's been fucking like 20 years.
Not even the Giants.
You know what I mean? They have not made
Yeah.
the playoffs 3 consecutive years. I don't know how anyone could talk any shit on us right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Any like rival fan.
Well, the playoffs are the new norm for this franchise. If we don't make the playoffs, I consider the season a failure. But my logic is if we don't win the Super Bowl, the season's a failure. But this year it's a little different because of
all the injuries. Yeah, all the injuries.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do expect us to win a playoff game, though. That is something I want to see with Carson Wentz. That's what I want to see from this team. And we'll see where we go from there. But you can't count them out. They're they're a 1-point underdog against a team that almost won the NFC West. Like, come on.
Yeah, the best division in football.
Yeah.
I will say the Seahawks, they were a lot better earlier in the season. Like they've had a lot of injuries too on their defense. Like I thought like they were going to be like they could have been the number 1 seed, honestly, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
But now it's kind of like back to how it was the past couple of years, especially last year. Like Russell Wilson is pretty much doing it all for them. I mean, they just freaking brought in Marshawn Lynch. Like their running backs are hurt. So I don't know how are they going to be able to adapt with that. They've lost 2 straight games. You know what I mean? So it's tough. Like, we know firsthand, like when you have so many injured players, it's not easy. You have to adapt. And it's like we had time to do that kind of in a different situation. Like they don't really have any time. Like the season's over. They're in the playoffs now. Like they don't have any time to gel and build that new chemistry like we did. You know what I mean?
Well, Marshawn Lynch doesn't scare me at all. Like the first game that he played against San Fran, he just looked fat and lazy. I mean, he tried to break open a hole, but he just didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, it reminds me of like a Jay Ajayi, like trying to bring him back. You know what I mean? Like running backs are like hit or miss. Like the average span of a player's time in the NFL is what, like 3 seasons, 2.5. Like how long they last.
Running back?
Or any player. I think it's like 3 years. Like that's
it depends on the position. Running backs usually last till 30 at the most. Wide receivers, I'd say 32. Offensive lineman can go forever. A quarterback can go forever. I guess it really depends. Like cornerbacks, they could go forever. Like the high pressured situations, wide receiver and running back, I feel like they last the shortest.
Yeah, well, probably because they do the most like physical like work, like running so many hits every single play. Basically, where like a corner or like a lineman, like sometimes the play's not even like near you.
Yep.
Basically, you know what I mean? But yeah, like I said, I like us in this game. I think it's going to be a close game, but it's just amazing that we have playoff football. You know what I mean? It feels so good. Like we remember, like even 3 years ago when we didn't make the playoffs with Chip, like it just sucks not making the playoffs, and like when you just have like nothing to look forward to. And I just feel like there's so much hope for this team, and honestly, untapped potential. Like you just never know what can happen.
Yeah,
that's like the most exciting thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're in the dance. All right. Before we get out of here, let's do Wildcard weekend picks. We'll keep up to date with our picks going throughout the whole playoffs because we're going to do a show every week, obviously. So first game, Buffalo Bills at the Houston Texans. What do you got?
I'm gonna go with Buffalo. I I think Buffalo has a ceiling, but they were competitive with the Patriots a couple weeks ago. They almost could have won the division. And I just don't trust Houston. I love Deshaun Watson, but I feel like Houston I don't know. They've never gone that far in the playoffs. They are at home, and they're used to playing this Saturday early game. But I think Buffalo is just a more talented team overall. So I'm going to take the Bills on the road.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I feel like Buffalo, they're destined to win at least one playoff game. And what is it, the last 20 years? And Houston Texans, let's be real, they always lose in the first round. Like, they never advance. I know
they don't know how to win in the playoffs.
I know J.J. Watt's back, but it doesn't really matter. I feel like the Buffalo Bills are going to win. Next game, New England Patriots against the Tennessee Titans. Everyone's down on the Pats all of a sudden because they lost the Miami Dolphins. Tom Brady's looked sluggish. He looks his age. I'm going to start with this one. I have the Pats blowing out the Tennessee Titans today.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
I think Ryan Tannehill, he's kind of come out of nowhere, and now people are talking about him because it's the Titans. But I think he comes back to earth today. He's going up against the greatest quarterback of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot imagine them practicing this week and how fucking mad and like drill sergeant Bill Belichick has been. Seriously, like he is so pissed off that they have to play today and not next week.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't get the bye. So yeah, I could see it being like a massacre.
Yeah,
honestly, like not even like maybe like 40-7.
40-7.
I can see that happening.
So we're both on par right now. In the comment section, Chris Wild says, "I'll be at the game, Nitro, hoping to meet you." Yeah, I'll be. Are you gonna be? Oh, you just said you're gonna be at the game. I'll be at section 105. So come on down, say hello. I'll be on the sideline before the game as well. So if you see me, just say hello. And yeah, but the next game is the Saints against the Minnesota Vikings in the Superdome. Who do you got?
I'm taking the Saints. Like I said before a little bit earlier, I don't trust Kirk Cousins in any game, prime time, let alone the playoffs. They have been more, I guess, impressive this year, you could say, but they got blown out by the Packers on Monday night. I love the Saints. I just think that that Drew Brees, Sean Payton head coach quarterback combination is just so dominant for the past couple of years. I see them winning this game by at least a touchdown. I'll probably say like 31-24, something like that. And the Saints, they're going to go on a run here. They're probably my pick to make the Super Bowl. So I'm definitely taking the Saints.
You love the Saints so much, you'd think you were a Saints fan sometimes. Upset, I got the Minnesota Vikings. I feel like the Minnesota Vikings going into the Superdome, they're getting no respect whatsoever. Everyone thinks that the New Orleans Saints are just going to roll over the Minnesota Vikings. Rightfully so, but I heard that Dalvin Cook's going to play this game. Stephon Diggs is going to step up. I don't know. Is Adam Thielen playing?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I have no idea. If he's playing, they have a good shot at winning this game. I'm going to take my chances. I'm going to pick an upset. I'm going to say Minnesota Vikings win by a score of 28-25.
On the road, that would be impressive if they did that, but I don't see it happening. They couldn't beat the Packers at home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
the Packers have the number 2 seed. The Saints have the number 3 seed.
I know, but Minnesota could have won the division if they would have beat the Packers. I think New Orleans is a lot better than Green Bay, but that's just me.
A one-game situation, you never know. So that's why I'm taking the upset. All right, last game: Eagles versus the Seattle Seahawks. The Eagles are the 1-point underdog. Who do you got?
Like I said earlier, I'm taking the Birds 16-13. It's going to be a slugfest, cold game, like you said. I think it's going to come down to which quarterback makes the most plays. And, history is not on our side, but it's Wentz's playoff debut. He's probably the best he's been this entire season right now, which really works in our favor. So I'm taking the Eagles.
All right, I'm on the same boat. I have the Eagles winning 31-23. It'll cap off your wildcard weekend. The Eagles will be going to with my pick, the Eagles will be going to Green Bay next week. And, we'll just continue our dominance there. With that being said, we are out of here. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be bringing you guys another show every single week. Hopefully, depends on Scotty's schedule. If you like the stream, smash that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. And we are out of here.
Go Birds, guys! Let's go. playoff time.
Birds.